Class is in session. Welcome to the Hitting the Book show for Monday, March 30th. Ian Cameron, Connor Mack with you, ready to break down the Monday slate. It's going to be primarily a baseball show, Mondays and Tuesdays when we do the shows, which are obviously free for all. Everybody can tune in. But we will touch on briefly any NHL and NBA that we both like here on the slate for this Monday. We will start, though, with just a thought or two on the NCAA tournament, what we saw over the weekend. And, of course, the UConn-Duke game is one of the iconic, epic, classic finishes that you'll ever see. That's Christian Laettner all over again. That's Valparaiso beating, I think it was UCLA in the 90s in the end. It's like any iconic Chris Jenkins to win the title for Villanova against North Carolina in the championship game. You name any iconic finish to an NCAA tournament game, and that shot by Braylon Mullins last night is right up there with all of it. That is how nuts it was, crazy it was. I was happy to see it. I had UConn plus the points, a little taste of the money line on Dan Hurley's squad, and holy shit, it was not looking good at halftime when they were down by almost 20 points, but that was great to see that UConn come all the way back, no quit in that team. What a hell of a game and a hell of a comeback by UConn, and what a shot. What a play to force the deflection on Caden Boozer's pass, and then to just drain that shot. Incredible. And, of course, congratulations to the other teams that advanced over the weekend. Illinois beating Iowa, Arizona pretty much controlling things against Purdue, and, of course, unbelievable destruction and domination by Michigan over Tennessee over the weekend. But CMAC doesn't get much better than that, what we saw with UConn.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy ending. I mean, that's what happens, though, when you start to put, pressure on a team and, full court press like that and everything, at the end of the games, you got to make free throws. You got to make the passes. So, yeah, I think, the Boozer kid's going to be – anyways, both those kids got a good future. So, even him, I think. But, one thing with UConn, Mullins, we just talked about the back, hit the shot. I mean, the guy had been so ice cold, he could hit anything, it seemed like lately, and he just drills that. So, yeah, and everything came to line. And we're going to go over these games, I guess, Friday, our big Friday show. We'll go over the Final Four.
Read my script, C-Mac. Oh, no, you just know me very well. Yes, Friday's the day. Right. Yeah, members-only show Friday. We'll break down the Final Four.
We'll go through them all. But, UConn just couldn't get anything. I think they just started to hit shots. I mean, Duke's got a very good defense. I just think it finally started to go down there. And Reed's had a huge game. One thing – I couldn't take his prop. I talked about it, I think, on Wednesday in the game before. But it was like 26.5. He got that in just his points.
Yes.
He had 26 points.
It was a good bet. So I had a piece of Terrace Reed props, too. He was
nice. There you go.
Far in the first half for UConn, easily.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But the rest, as much as some of these teams kind of hung in, they got beat down. Purdue just fall apart. Arizona's a better team. I think they're the two best teams left. It's just that they got to play.
Got my damn total money back, C-Mac, with Michigan. I mean, heartbreaking.
Oh, I know. It seems so low there. There was no way I was going to bet Tennessee, and I took them. We talked about it. I bet them. I couldn't. They won. There was no way I was going to take them against. There was. I was no way I was going to bet them. I couldn't do it. Looking at it, so but it was good.
Behind, and there was a good chance of that happening. They don't have the offense to play catch up.
They're not really. Yeah,
offense with Gillespie, pretty much. That's about it.
Yeah, for sure. So shout out Gerald Jones, my guy, becoming a member. Shout out to all you guys in the green. Thomas, what up? What up? Chucktown, Stephen Harris, Steve Jackson, been here. Great to see you guys. So yeah, super fun. I can't wait to break down the games. And we got 2 games. We got Final Four. We can go long. We can do whatever.
Player props.
Deep into the game. Player props. The whole deal with that on Friday. So I'm pumped about it already.
And Gerald Jones, thanks to him becoming a new member, is doing what everyone else should do. Don't want to miss our Final Four preview, Final Four breakdown. It'll be a members only show on Friday. When we talk about the 2 games, UConn, Illinois, and Michigan, Arizona. I'm sick of hearing people the last 24 hours say Michigan, Arizona is the de facto national championship. They're
the best 2 teams.
They are, but
I mean, but you can't call. I mean, that's just how the bracket ended. But that's how I feel. They are. Yeah. But that's how it's situated. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Shit.
I
To
agree.
me, they're
with
the best.
on paper, they are the two best teams left. But saying, "Oh, this is going to decide the championship," and just throw
No.
of UConn or Illinois, all it takes is one of these teams to play their best game and better than their opponent for one game.
Yeah,
That's it.
one game
Yeah.
on a neutral floor for all of it. Yeah,
that's right.
So, yeah. Oh yeah.
Just a little disrespectful to me to UConn and Illinois people saying that, because I don't know. I don't agree with that. I agree with them being the best teams left on paper, the two, Michigan and Arizona. No, and that's a hell of a game. There's no denying it. Unbelievable basketball game that could be. Let's hope it lives up.
So much talent. I think the other game's going to be good too.
I do too.
There's a lot of love for Illinois, and there should be. But we'll talk about it on that.
We'll talk about it, but I'll say this. When we get into this Friday, Illinois, yes. Do you really, at this point in time, I mean, the guy now after yesterday, he's 10-0 against the spread in the Sweet 16 and beyond, Dan Hurley. I mean, that's tough to go against that. 10-0. He's covered every
Trying to read my mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, how do you go against that kind of a coaching track record? I mean, it's just he's ATM machine, Dan Hurley, this deep into the NCAA tournament. But we'll get into that on Friday. Thanks to Gerald Jones for becoming a new member here. All right, let's quickly. Well, baseball is going to be most of the show, but just quickly for NHL, I'll give you my two main bets. Pittsburgh Islanders over. Pittsburgh Islanders over 6. Pittsburgh 11-1 to the over in their last 12 games. They just keep on going over, as C-Mac would say, every game. I think 8-2, by the way, in the last 10 meetings to the over between the Penguins and the Islanders as well. So I'm on the over there. And Vegas, look, the coaching change that stunned the world. Bruce Cassidy fired. John Tortorella taking over, and Vegas playing some horrific hockey the last few weeks. Coach bump probably is in play. The problem is they're a huge.
This price, coach bump, this is fucking crazy. They've not been playing good hockey. I mean,
but it is Vancouver, the worst team in the West, and this is a team. What I did is I got creative here. BetMGM, you can bet Vegas team total over 1 and over 1.5 in the first period. I think they come out flying.
There you go. Yeah.
I think they get a goal or two in the opening period. That's the way I'd look. I think that's where the value is there. But C-Mac, anything for you on the ice tonight?
Yeah, that's what I look at, because that number is huge. I know Vancouver's awful, but hopefully the coaching change can be this quick, which we see it in hockey more than anything, I think, in the run. So, because this Vegas team was just bad hockey. I mean, they needed, I guess, a change. I thought it was just kind of abrupt and weird here. 8 games left. It just a little bit weird. I mean, it took me by surprise. That's for damn sure. Because I heard whispers, I just didn't think it happened then.
I knew there was some issues with the players and Cassidy, like bad.
I did.
Developing.
Yeah.
Wow. Did actually
Yeah, I didn't think it would happen like that, though.
Games left in the regular season, which did happen before, C-Mac. I mentioned this on the Ice Guys. 2000, Robbie Ftorek, Devils head coach, got fired. 8 games left in the regular season. Same number of games left. Larry Robinson, Big Bird was his nickname. Larry Robinson took over as head coach of the Devils in 2000 that season. With 8 games left in the regular season, they went on and won the Stanley Cup in 2000, and they beat Dallas. I'm not saying it's Vegas that's going to happen with Tortorella, but it has happened.
Torts is nuts, too. We'll see how it works with him in Vegas. But, yeah, I love it. That was great. But, yeah, I got just a couple. I like that Pittsburgh Islander over, and give me Pittsburgh here. Plus 110, I'm going to take them.
And Sidney Crosby might be back. He's a game-time decision after the last few. Yep.
Yeah, so I like this price with them, plus 110. I will take it. Toronto, Anaheim, I still think this game gets over the 6.5. I know it's a little juiced here. Some places I even up to minus 130. But I still think you get there. And I haven't bet this. I've been looking at St. Louis, San Jose. I'd like to have an under. St. Louis is more of a home team I want to back, even though they've been better on the road. Machine right now, and an under machine.
Playing defense.
That's why I like it. That's why I kind of leaning under in this game. But Sharks at home. So lean under here. It's 6, not a 5.5.
Right.
But a 6 with Blue Sharks, late one tonight. I've been looking at.
No argument for me on that. I think the way the Blues are defending right now, there's probably a decent chance that is a low-scoring game. All right, let's go to NBA quickly before we turn mostly to base. Baseball is going to be the lion's share of these shows moving forward, but we did want to throw out a little NHL and NBA. I like Atlanta. That would be probably the bet I like the most tonight. Atlanta at home. They catch Boston on a back-to-back after winning in Charlotte. No Jason Tatum. I don't think Vucevic is playing either for the Celtics tonight. It's a huge game for Atlanta in the seeding race in the East. Rest advantage, too, at home. I took Hawks money line, minus 130 in that one. I like the couple overs, Philly, Miami, Chicago, San Antonio, Minnesota, Dallas, Cleveland, Utah. I think those games could have a good chance to go over. You talked about Utah at home. They're an ATM machine. Every Utah home game goes over the total. So I'm back on that with Cleveland, Utah. I'm going to take a little shot with Detroit. They're getting 12 and I know there's no Cade Cunningham, no Jalen Duren, but rest advantage. Oklahoma City just played this big national TV game on NBC against the Knicks last night. Got the job done. Now they're laying 12 on a back-to-back. I don't think Hartenstein and Williams may be playing either tonight for the Thunder, so they could be missing a couple of key pieces as well. So I think 12 and a half with Detroit. It was worth a look there. C-Mac, NBA, what are you liking?
I know it seems just like after the big win yesterday, I stayed off the Knicks too. I just went with the under in that game. I kind of lean here. I just don't know. We're down to 216.5 if there's a lot of value with it, even though I lean under. But I think it is a little bit of it's kind of flatter spot for OKC, even with who Detroit has out. I think they could hang around there. Yeah, Cleveland, Utah. I don't mind. Maybe 245 is right around 240 now. I think it still gets over. This team plays no defense. I like to think they could hang around Utah. He's seen 10.5 in this first half because they have the worst at home lately, the worst third quarters. Like, as much as I didn't win, I think I had them last week. They were only down by 8 or 9 in that first half when I had a +6. And then in the third quarter, they got drilled by 20, of course. It's like they just got killed. They gave up 42 and they scored like 22. So I don't know. I've been looking at them a little bit as home dogs. San Antonio just keeps rolling. I'm going to stay off there. Huge favorites. As much as I think Phoenix can get theirs here, and maybe I was looking at their team total, I think Memphis could maybe hang around here. I like Memphis at home. I know it's like who the hell's on this team and who's playing, right. Basically. But this is a boatload of points for him at home. I like him +12.5. I kind of agree with the Hawks. I'm going to stay off that game. I'm just going to stay off. I lean that way. It's up to 2.5. I'd rather have him just to win it, basically. So that's it. The NBA for me.
All right, on we go to play ball. Here we go. Major League Baseball now for the rest of this Monday show. Here we go. Let's rock and roll. 6:35, Texas, Baltimore. Jack Leiter, Chris Bassett making his Orioles debut here. Baltimore -120 home favorites, 9 the total in this game. Now, there is a lot of warm, unseasonably warm weather in the Northeast and Midwest today. Like, we're talking 70 Fahrenheit in a lot of these. So warmer weather, so a little bit hitter friendly, more so than not. So that's why the totals have been bet to the over a little bit. Maybe the totals juiced up a little more because of that. The warmer weather that's taking place, including a place like Baltimore. I think I like Texas a little bit here. Jack Leiter, I'm not going to say he's going to be great this season, but I still think there's good stuff with him. That he has his good stuff. He's just got to harness it, limit the walks, limit the hard hit contact. Chris Bassett, I know he'll be amped up. And look, he's still a very capable pitcher. He showed it with the Blue Jays last year. I wasn't impressed with Baltimore. I took them a couple times against Minnesota over the weekend, and they weren't that impressive to me. And their lineup really hasn't gotten going yet in those games against the Twins either over the weekend. So I definitely lean Texas a little bit. I think they're worth a small bet as a dog. C-Mac, anything there? Texas, Baltimore.
Same. I'd rather have Texas here at this price than with Baltimore. We'll see with Bassett. A few of these guys have some solid numbers off him. As well. We'll see if they can do anything. These lineups are out. Jock Peterson, there's a few that have hit him. I think the price there at that Leiter looked pretty good in spring. More of a guy. It was just total fade. There last year, I thought his stuff's been very kind of settling in. And I think he could pitch well here. So I look at there as much as there might be runs. I think them first 5 or even full game here with the Rangers. I think there's some value. +110.
Washington, Philadelphia, Foster Griffin, Taijuan Walker, Phillies -170, 9 the total. I'm on the Nats. I'm on the over. I mean, this is my first chance to maybe go against Taijuan Walker. Now, I know at times he's been okay, but at this price range, I'm not enamored with backing him. And there's another team that wasn't overly impressed with, Philadelphia, over the weekend against Texas in that opening series. Washington's not very good. Probably not going to be very good, but they did actually win 2 or 3 at Wrigley against the Chicago Cubs. So you got to give them a little credit for that, Washington. It's just, to me, a little overpriced favorite here, and a pitcher I think that's a little bit overpriced. So I sprinkled on the Nats here. I got a plus 152 on them. I like the over too. There could be runs. It's warm in Philly, wind blowing out a bit. So Nats over. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of lean over too. What do we get here with Forrest Griffin? I mean, the guy didn't play a whole year last year. It was pretty good in AAA, but for the most part, this guy is, as much as he has all right stuff, he's got tattooed too from rookie ball, to AAA.
Right.
So I think he could get hit. And yeah, I mean, this is Batter Walker here at home. And one thing with him, as we continuously year after year, he is more backable earlier in the year. I don't know about the first start. Going through it's still pretty good, like just glancing at it when I was looking at it, but he'll be the normal fade after. But yeah, the Nats could get some. This price is a little bit crazy. I think there's just some runs in this game.
All right, we got Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Braxton Ashcraft for the Pirates, and Burns here for the Cincinnati Reds, who I actually think could be a bit of a bet on pitcher here. Minus 130, home favorites here at Great American, the Reds. The total here sitting at 8.5. Yeah, I like Chase Burns. I think he's a guy that's kind of a bet on pitcher here for me moving forward. I think the price is reasonable here. Pirates, solid showing, solid effort, very competitive against the New York Mets in their first series of the season. Definitely the lineup should be a little bit better. Expectations with Don Kelly, the new manager, that they're just going to be at least a little bit better. But I think there's an edge here with the Reds. I like the Reds, too, coming off the I thought they played well in the Boston series, Cincinnati. I give them credit. I like Burns stuff. I took the Reds here, minus $130. I think they can get the job done. I like Burns. I said I'm coming into the year. I thought he was a bet on pitcher. I think he'd be a little undervalued, maybe compared to some of these other Reds pitchers like Abbott. And I like Burns, so I took Cincy here. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, he's definitely got the stuff. Shout out to Jack Nicholas Handy. What up, my dude? He's on Texas even there. So okay, right on. Nick Alvanito, great to see you. Kale McCarlo's playing his hometown. Yeah, 3 goals. I like it. Anytime. Plus 300. Right on, right on. Jorge Herrera, as always, great to see you, my dude. I think this is kind of toss-up with these two. You talk about with Burns. I don't know, this road start with Ashcraft. So I think there could be runs. I think they could pitch well. He was kind of just this game was the ultimate. I did like what I saw of the Reds. If their pitching can hold up, it'd be good to go. And they won that extra inning game too. What was it, 6-5? I think that game 2 of that series. So yeah, nothing for me here. Pass.
White Sox, Marlins, Davis Martin, Chris Paddock, the pitching matchup here in this one. Miami about minus 135, it looks like, minus 140. Home favorites, total here in the 8 range across the board. Marlins, 3-0 start to the year. Give them credit, but they played maybe the worst team in Major League Baseball to get to that 3-0 record, Colorado. I think you can make a case. There's nobody worse in baseball once again this season than the Colorado Rockies. But still, 3-0 is 3-0. Give Miami a little credit for that. White Sox, 0-3, and boy, frustrating because it looked like they were actually going to get off the schneid, up 7-2 at one point against the Brewers yesterday, and then 7 unanswered against that god-frickin' awful Chicago White Sox bullpen, which imploded once again. A brutal loss for the White Sox. Will Venable and his team 0-3 now. I can't back the White Sox, but, I mean, we're talking minus 140 with Miami. I don't love that price, so it's a stay-off game. C-Mac, what do you think? Anything?
Yeah, well, one thing, the Marlins, I know they, started 3-0, and the money's moved to them here. Overall, they're the better team, but no fucking way. As this goes up to 155 with Paddock on the mound, I don't give a shit, flat out. And the White Sox, you would have to take them first 5. I really don't want their bullpen. So with Martin here, I think I'd rather have them see if they get some runs here, even their team total. More, as this goes on, we get more information. I'll be on more of these spots. I think that'll be better in the year, just with everything, even from my props. So it's a little bit of a wait here, get going in a few weeks. So I think it'll be better. But I think the White Sox can get a couple runs. So them first 5 are team total here this game.
This one will be brief. I've got just one prop in this next game, Colorado and Toronto. You've got Tomoyoki Sugano, who's not a pitcher I like and didn't really like him in Baltimore. I don't know if I like him here in this matchup either for the Rockies. And Cody Ponce making his Blue Jays debut here tonight, Korean League MVP last year. Toronto minus 280, home favorites, 8 the total. Blue Jays pitchers, man, I don't know if it was the A's or whether it was the Blue Jays pitchers, but they were strikeout machines, the Blue Jay pitching over the weekend. That, to me, is what you bet here. I mean, it's too expensive to take Toronto. I don't think I want any part of Colorado right now. It is definitely, on paper, a starting pitching edge for the Blue Jays. I think you just bet Cody Ponce over strikeouts. I think that's the bet here. We know the Rockies are capable of striking out quite a bit. We know the Blue Jays racked up the Ks over the weekend. So I think that's what I bet. It's the only bet I've made on this game. I think you just trust Cody Ponce to rack up some Ks here against a very strikeout-prone lineup. So Cody Ponce for me, over strikeouts, over 5.5, around minus 115, minus 120. Ponce over strikeouts. CMAC, Rockies, Blue Jays.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Blue Jays, really, the bats didn't get going. Will it happen here? I kind of lean that way if I were to bet it, that they could get some runs here off Sugano. Even in that game, Jimenez, I think, drove all 3 runs that they won that game, 3-2.
One of the early
that
games,
one of those
Friday game.
Yeah. In that one, everyone else did not look good yet. I know he had a triple and then he tacked on another one there. But Sugano on the road, I think just Jays here. Jays run line, I know they're at home, or even the team total. You could get plus money on the 4.5, right? Or make a 4. You could
you could go 4. Yeah. Oh, do you know what's funny? DraftKings has over 3.5 minus 145. So if you're okay laying minus 145, you can get the 3.
Yeah, if you're that, or make the 4. Yeah.
I actually like that number, to be able to get 3.5 with the Jays team total against this lineup, or this pitching, I should say, for the Rockies. We saw the bullpen again give it up against Miami. They actually were in position to beat Miami on Sunday.
Yeah.
Bullpen fucking spit the bid again. What else is new?
Full game too. Here, you don't mess how it go. You want that bullpen. Yep.
Terrible. Yeah, that's the Rockies for you. All right, next up, we've got Athletics and A's, Bryce Elder and Jacob Lopez. We've got Atlanta minus 130, home favorites, 9 the total. I like this. I like situations like this. Team gets their ass kicked in the first series, and the A's they didn't really get their ass kicked, though. They played the defending AL champions, and in fact, in 2 of those 3 games, the Athletics were right in it. And they competed pretty decently against the Jays, even though they lost all 3 games. Now they're coming in off the 0-3 start. Now you're playing, and look, Atlanta had a good series. They took 2 of 3 from Kansas City at home. But I think the A's are a little undervalued here. And I'll certainly prefer Jacob Lopez over. I'm not a Bryce Elder guy. I've never been a fan of Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder's got an over 5 ERA last year with the Braves. I think it's a buy low spot. I think we get the A's coming in a little hungry after going 0-3 in Toronto over the weekend, although they were competitive in a couple of those games. I think of all the underdogs on the card tonight, this is one of the ones I like the most. I like the Athletics here to get off the schneid and get win number 1. CMAC, anything here, A's and Braves?
Yeah, I think it'll only be Lopez on the road, which is great. Lean A's, because I think there's some value over. I know there's a few 8.5s out there that are minus 125 to 130. So I'd get that instead of the 9. We talk about the important numbers with that. Look, I got bit with it last night. Even I knew it, betting that 7.5 in that Mariners game. There was barely any 8s.
Yep.
And I didn't want to give out at 8. Anyways, fuck, I should have been on the Guardians team total. Sorry. Thinking of past bets just from yesterday, driving me crazy. But yeah, I think the A's have some value. Elder, I don't think he's very good, but I think game just gets over. I think both teams can score some runs here.
All right.
Yeah, stuff. Braves had all unders too, right?
Yeah.
I early on those first couple games.
Yeah, I would lean over as well. I think I might bet the over
versus the Royals.
I already bet the A's. I didn't bet the over, but I might add the over. It makes sense. I think good chance.
Yeah, I started out. Yeah, 3 unders versus the Royals.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a chance we could see this one go over. There are some 8.5s with that total.
Yeah.
So shop around. All right, Angels and Cubs next up. We've got a new addition to the. I like this pickup, Edward. I've always liked Edward Cabrera. when he was with the Marlins. He's a guy that can come in there and pitch decently. I think it's a solid ad for the Cubs. I don't think highly of the Angels pitcher, Ryan Johnson. He's going to get the start here tonight. Cubs minus 180. Ryan Johnson, if you look at the numbers, yikes. I'm a little bit worried for him. 7.36 ERA in 2025. This is his first career start with the Angels. Last year in the bullpen, he gave up 24 hits, C-Mac, in just 14 innings. When you're giving up 24 hits in 14 innings, your stuff's not that good. That's all there is to it. It's almost 2 hits per inning this guy's given up with the Angels last year. So I think it's Cubs team total over. Not a great series for them against Washington over the weekend, going 1-2. That's pretty disappointing. But they've got the advantage on the mound. I think the bats maybe come to life here against the Angels. So I like Cubs team total over most of all here. C-Mac, anything here?
Yeah, this is a game I think they're going to have runs. And wind's blowing out here. Nothing crazy, but right, 10 to 15
a little bit
in this game. Yeah, blowing out a little bit. So yeah, I don't like this Cubs team very much. Like, these are the teams they need. When the Angels got a couple wins early, I don't know if it lasts though. Like, with this Angels team, I think they're going to hit a bad spurt. Injuries are going to happen, but I think they could get some runs here too. So just lean over. And no way I'd lay this number with the Cubs. No fucking way. No way. Not right now.
I don't.
This pitcher on the mound.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. That's why I go team total here with the Cubs. I just hope that they can get to the 5 mark here in this one. All right, Tampa Bay, Milwaukee. Next game, we've got Nick Martinez here for the Rays and Kyle Harrison for the Brewers. It is Milwaukee minus 155, minus 160 total here, 8 across the board. Brewers and Rays are a combined 5-1 to the over in their games. I like over. I was able to pick off a 7.5 earlier today. There aren't too many 7.5s left, but one thing I'm finding out, and I found out the hard way with a couple of losing bets on the Rays against St. Louis over the weekend, this bullpen sucks, man. It's fucking terrible so far. What has happened? Kevin Cash usually always is reliable to craft a good bullpen. Not this freaking year so far. Holy mackerel, it's been pathetic, the Tampa bullpen. So that's part of the reason why I like the over. I'm not a fan of Nick Martinez. He didn't have great numbers last year. So maybe Brewers team total over. I could see that maybe being worth a bet here. I think Harrison, though, I got to see a little bit more. I think the Rays could get a few runs off him as well. So at 7.5, I thought this was one of the better over bets on the card with these two teams, actually. C-Mac, what do you think? Rays, Brewers.
Yeah, no, this is kind of a low total. 7.5, 8. I don't trust Martinez. Yeah, I think their bullpen's better than just what happened, but yeah, they did not look good with
I think I have a winner after they went up, 7-1 or something against St. Louis the first game of that series, and they gave up the entire lead the very next half inning. It was insane.
Yeah, baseball is wild. Especially early. That's what we have here. Price is right. Harrison at home. I'm just pass. Brewers start 3-0. Big win. Yeah, pass.
All right, Mets and Cardinals. Clay Holmes, and we've got Kyle Leahy for the Cardinals. Mets here, minus 155 road favorites, 8.5 the total. I lean Mets, but minus 150 on the road, not really. I know Clay Holmes started strong last year. It was later in the year he kind of faded. But I know last year in April, he was a pretty good pitcher for the Mets. So I think the Mets probably win, but I don't know, minus 150 on the road's not great. C-Mac, anything here?
Yeah, and last year he's been pretty better on the road a little bit, I think, than maybe you think as Holmes. But no way I could do this price here with the Mets. Just no frick way. I think you take the Cards in this game. I'd like them as a home dog.
All right, Boston, Houston, Ranger Suarez, the brand new addition to the Red Sox rotation from Philadelphia, making his Red Sox debut. Lance McCullers Jr. Here for Houston. Boston minus 125 road favorites. Total here sitting at 8.5. Like, obviously, look, these two guys are making their first start of the season. I'm going with the known commodity here. What I know about Ranger Suarez is he's a pretty good pitcher. He had a very good year last year, 3.2 ERA. With the Phillies, making his Red Sox. McCullers last year made 16 appearances, for the Astros last year. Up and down is the best way to call it, really. And by the way, too, McCullers 5.4 ERA and 5 starts against Boston. So he has had some struggles here against the Red Sox. So I think the Red Sox were deserving road favorites. I think they're the better team anyway. I think Houston's in for a down year. So I like Boston here as a short road favorite. C-Mac, what do you think?
I can't do it. No way. What's going on with Ranger Suarez? I mean, what do you take from it? I mean, he got wrecked around in spring training. He got hit in the WBC, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he pitch
a little bit
there too?
Well,
something.
The flip side, you got McCullers with a 6.5 ERA.
Oh, I know. Well, that's what to me is telling. Like Suarez does pitch well. Like he is on. I mean, it's going 4.5. There's 5. It's his first 5, the total. Yeah. Like one of these guys is going to get hit. You know, who is it here? I mean, I think that's telling. And like I get the value you think of Suarez.
Who can it be now? Who's going to get hit now?
Which one of these guys is going to get hit? I think it might take Suarez some time. You know, because like I said, when he is on, he's got pretty good stuff. Yeah, I think McCullers will be better as the year goes on. He was out for so long, came back at the end of the year, and it was real up and down, more down. So, yeah, I'm because I was looking at this 5, but someone's gonna get hit here. No, I just don't know who. I don't trust the Astros. They finally scored some runs. Yeah. What's
I still like Boston's bullpen better than Houston's too. I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's a good spot. They lost the finale against Cincinnati. I kind of like that here. Off a loss. Suarez looking to have a good first showing here with his new team, and plus he had good numbers. Better. Look, if you're basing this off last year, Suarez crushed McCullers as far as performance. Suarez had an ERA of 3.2, and McCullers was double that at 6.5 last year. So that's why I'm on. I think it's a known commodity. I think Suarez can turn it around. Sometimes in the spring, the numbers are deceiving. The guys are just trying to find their footing.
That's what I mean. That's what makes it difficult.
That's why I also bet small units this time of year, and that's what I'm doing. Like these are all like 0.1 units for the most part for me. Very, very tiny.
Not even quarters for you.
Not even at this for these first games. That's dicey, man. These first games of the season through the rotation, in my mind, anyway. All right, next up, we've got as we continue along here. What's next? Oh, they're all the late games next up. Yankees, Mariners. Ryan Weathers has ended up with the Yankees. Well, he's only in the rotation for now. Once they get Cole back, once they get Schmidt back, once they get Rodon back, this guy ain't going to be in the rotation, but he is now at a necessity. Ryan Weathers for the Yanks, Luis Castillo for the Mariners. Pretty much even money here. Actually, Yankees slight road favorites, 7.5 the total. I mean, Yanks look damn good against the Giants, but I don't know. San Francisco could be pretty freaking terrible. I mean, I give the Yankees credit. They looked really good, but I think a lot of that was Giants were terrible. I don't want to go against the Yankees. They're playing well, but I just feel like a little overvalued maybe tonight in this spot. You know, road favorites against a team that got to the ALCS last year and was probably a George Springer home run away from making it to the World Series last year, Seattle. And the Yankees are favored on the road. It just feels like there's not great value with the Yankees here. Castillo's a bit of an enigma, though. He can be dominant, and he's had some times where he's been hit a little bit last year. So we'll see. I think there's some value with the Mariners, but I don't love it. What do you think here, C-Mac? Yanks, Mariners.
All right, you don't love it. I love it. Give me the Mariners. I think this is a joke. This line, come on. Weathers on the mound? And Castillo
I get it.
As an issue. I think they were going to hit him. I think if you're looking at hitter props, what I was looking at some of these Mariners against him, I think he definitely gives up some. And I know it's a low total.
Maybe
so
7.5.
I was just going to.
Sounds like you lean over here, 7.5. Yep.
Yeah, or the Mariners team total.
Yep.
But I have plus 105 full game with them. I think is good as well with the Mariners. I was just looking there. The first 5, I think 1.5. Mariners. They get 2 runs off Weathers here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lean that as well. Minus 120.
Good stuff. All right, we move on.
I might have a split on that.
Yeah, that one makes sense. The earned runs prop. Yeah, no question. Because that's definitely a market worth exploiting. If you really think the starter's in trouble, that's definitely something you could look at taking advantage of. All right, next up, we've got the here we go. Giants.
Yeah, I see the lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. He's not in there. I got it.
No Canzone for Seattle. So there you go.
Yeah, Donovan. Yeah, I got it right here.
Giants and Padres. Landon Raup for the Giants. And we've got, look at who's a new Padre here. Bueller. Walker Buehler. He
You
actually tortured the Padres for years. They're probably happy to have him on their side now. But Walker Buehler and the Padres, I can't back the Giants here. No way. They're that bad. They look that freaking pitiful and terrible against the Yankees. I could only look at San Diego. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Padres this year. I think both of these teams probably going to be on the outside looking in, but Buehler over Raup and Padres over the Giants. Plus, the Giants have had a nightmarish time over the years at Petco. Their track record at Petco Park is terrible, the Giants. They have really struggled here over the. So I definitely, I don't love it, but definitely lean Padres. I can't back San Francisco right now. C-Mac, what do you think?
This is a game we could finally get some runs too. Maybe the Padre lineup break out a little bit. It still didn't. I had them in the third game. Tigers, I liked them both those first games. And the third game, I like Padres came through. So, but only scored 3 runs, 3-0. I think they could get some runs here today.
This totals moved Petco last year. The Giants 3-13 against San Diego last year altogether.
And you got the Giants finally get some runs. I think this offense isn't great, but off Buehler, and we'll see what we get from him. So normally I'm an under. I don't know if it's like the best bet or anything. Under guy at Petco, but at an 8, not an 8.5, I lean over here. Giants pods.
There you go. A little proactive approach here for C-Mac, saying, hey, time for these lineups to maybe get going here a little bit. I really don't know what Buster Posey's doing either, hiring a college baseball manager. That's a little perplexing to me. Tony Vitello.
Yeah, that was a little strange.
That's a little strange. I mean, have we ever seen that before? Guys coaching college baseball all of a sudden hired in the big leagues?
Just Murphy, right?
Pat Murphy.
From, Arizona State, right?
Yeah.
And then they hired him.
Well, that one did work because he's done a nice job, but this one we'll see. But not good early.
But he had been there a long time and was very successful too. Yeah. Murphy,
It's a lot of. I would want some big league experience in my manager before I hire them. But Pat Murphy, it has worked so far with the Brewers. So maybe lightning will strike straight, but so far not so good to begin here for the Giants. All right, we got 2 games left. Next up, we've got the Detroit Tigers, Arizona Diamondbacks. Justin Verlander, my gosh, in his 40s, and here just him and Scherzer, man. These 2 old farts, they won't pack it in. Just keep on going. But Verlander for Detroit, Michael Soroka for Arizona. Arizona minus 120 home favorites, 9 the total. Arizona 0-3 versus the Dodgers over the weekend. Same old shit there with the Dodgers just owning Arizona. More of the same there. And then Detroit obviously having a pretty good series over the weekend. Took 2 of 3 from the Padres, even though they lost the final game 3-0. Definitely feels like value on the 0-3 team, though. Arizona here in this game. Home opener. I don't know. As Verlander got rotten. Here's another one. Be careful. He had decent numbers last year, Verlander. For his age, he pitched pretty solid last year. And remember, the Giants just didn't hit for him last year half the time. But he got rocked in the spring this year, Verlander. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen tonight, but he didn't have a great spring. Like I said, I think I worry about that a little bit, another year older. Now, Soroka, who the hell knows? This is a guy that's had injury after injury after injury. Yeah. I understand if you have concerns with him, too. But I think I like the spot here for Arizona. You got your teeth kicked in by the Dodgers. Back home, get off the schneid. Detroit on the road for a second straight series. I'm not in a rush to take it, but if I were to bet it, I'd take Arizona before I take Detroit in this spot. C-Mac, what do you think here? Tigers, Snakes.
Yeah, bullpens look good the first few days.
Kenley Johnson, man, I keep waiting for that guy to show his age, and no, still doing okay. Yeah,
just straight over the top.
Yeah,
Heat pitching machine. It's and of course the slider. That's been so good, but I don't trust Verlander. I think it'd be D-backs here.
Yeah. First 5.
I don't want their bullpen.
Right.
I think this game could see some runs. Obviously, we have 9s. So that's where I'd be. Yeah. I like how Tigers here, too. And I think people see that there's some value with them, too, in a spot like this. But I don't know about Verlander here. What do we get from him?
I'm going to start
tracking.
D-backs
score some runs.
How do teams do this season, CMAC, after losing a series to the Dodgers? In the next game after losing a series to the Dodgers? I have a feeling teams are going to be winning teams in that spot. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but teams coming off a series loss to the mighty Dodgers, more often than not, they win in these spots off the Dodger series. That's Arizona tonight. So we'll see. I mean, this is just a theory of mine. We'll see if it play out, see if I'm right moving forward.
Damn straight, Vince. Just said it. Only first 5. I mean, that's mostly over here is with the team guys for the most part.
Yeah.
Or their team total. That's like that. That's the only way I got them.
Yeah.
I don't think the Pens going to be very good again.
No, you're right about that, Vincent. If you like Arizona, it definitely could be a benefit to you to only look first 5 for now. With the state of that bullpen for sure. All right, last game for this Monday slate. And speaking of the Dodgers, here we go. We've got the Cleveland Guardians and the LA Dodgers. Last game of the night, Dodger Stadium. We've got Parker Messick, the lefty, for the Cleveland Guardians. And look who's starting here. Normally, this is a guy that's been used in closers roles and setup roles in the bullpen for the Dodgers, especially in the playoffs last year, the run to the World Series. And here he is starting tonight, Roki Sasaki for the LA Dodgers. In this one, we've got the Dodgers minus 185 home favorites, 8.5 the total. Now, you talk about someone that got ripped in the spring. That would be Roki Sasaki. And the question is going to be, how does he – is that just spring mechanics, working through some shit, figuring things out? Or is that
it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's cut out for a starter right now with his command.
I don't think that. He's good in small doses, like 1 inning, use his arsenal to his advantage. If he has to go through a lineup once or twice, a full lineup, I don't love the chances as much for him. So I'm just keeping it simple here. 2 of the 3 games against Arizona went over. I'm on the over here. But anytime I see a Dodger game below 9 with the total, below that, which is a key number in MLB totals, 9. Anytime I see a Dodger game at 8.5 or less, I'm going to be over or nothing. And I'm on the over here. And I think Messick, they can hit against Messick. He's not got overpowering stuff. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, over 2.5 walks. I mean, this is going to be a struggle for him. We'll see. I just don't. Well, I mean, he wants to be a starter. I just don't know if it's now. And
yeah, but you don't have the versatility of your arsenal to be a starter guy. I mean, you got to accept.
Maybe.
You gotta go with what you're best at. You're best at small doses, closer role, setup role, bullpen. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to throw strikes in this fucking league where you are long innings. Dodgers, I think, score runs, but of course, I don't like this Guardians offense much. First game they score some runs. The third game they get shut out again. But I like their off getting shut out that they could get some runs off. And then obviously, with him
Juan and Jose Ramirez and a bunch of stiffs for the most part after that. For the most part.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part. Yeah. So, but I think they could get some runs.
Yeah.
Here, I think at 8.5, we're starting to see some 9s that can go over. I even think, Cleveland, first 5, I would take them a small dose here in this game. As good as the Dodgers are, I mean, I that's where I'd be. Yeah, with Sasaki, that you can maybe get some runs off him early. Now the Dodgers could score runs. That's the whole issue. They could get to Messick here.
I shouldn't say
quickly.
That. I stand corrected. How could I not include the great rookie in the mix for the 3 good hitters on the team, Chase DeLauder?
Oh yeah, he's got 4 bombs, but we'll see. The power is probably not going to be there. He's not a power hitter.
Yeah,
he never even has been in the minors. Now they think he could develop a little bit into it, but I don't even think he ever hit 15, 20 homers in the minors. I'm pretty sure, with his numbers. But yeah, he's a good hitter. So, but yeah, 4 bombs already, right?
Yes, indeed.
Shit. 4 jacks.
I don't mind.
Speaking of that, Jack of the day, you got anything?
Here we go. It's a great segue because that's the last game. That's where we
segue.
Yeah, I got a little too adventurous. I took that game that's the one game that started already, Minnesota, Kansas. I took over 9, and I took over 9.5 only because of the new dimensions there at Kauffman Stadium. I'm experimenting, saying there's probably going to be more of
it. And it went up
this year.
The weather, everything went up to 10.5.
The fence is in the outfield, so it's supposed to be much more hitter friendly. Way more home runs are expected to be hit at Kauffman Stadium this year in Kansas City, but we need some work to get over that because it's 3-1 in 6th inning. So not looking good. But it was a small bet, just experimenting. Saying I think Kansas City is going to play to the over more this year because of the new dimensions, moving the fences in. But oh well, it is what it is. Good stuff. All right, Jack of the day. I'll throw out a couple. I mentioned DeLauder. I don't mind looking in his direction. He's homered in multiple games. You know the one I like? The White Sox, the Japanese guy. He is raking right now for them. Murakami. He is homered in
my rookie of the year.
Plus
900, baby.
Yep.
Let's get it.
Yep. I like it.
Stay healthy.
Yep. Give me him. That's my favorite. That's my single favorite home run prop, Jack of the day for the slate tonight. Plus 460. Munetaka Murakami of the Chicago White Sox. He's homered in consecutive games. I like that. Wilyer Abreu, too. I think he matches up well with McCullers Jr. He hit a homer, I think, in his last game for the Red Sox. Wilyer Abreu at plus 480. I like that one, too. Anything Jack of the day, C-Mac?
No, not really. Carpenter for the Tigers. I think it's a solid look. Julio Rodriguez. I just like to get him when he gets going a little bit. I mean, it's the start of the year, but I think there's good value. I think you get plus 450 with him. Now I like him against the lefty. So that's about it for that. Jack of the day I'll be more locked in. Jack of the day.
Once we have more data, exactly. Like once we get like a
Machado's a decent one. I looked at Machado. You get 4-1 on it. 4 for 10. Nick. Yeah. I saw that earlier.
Yep.
Vladdy maybe another guy that's streaky though. Once you want him to get going with bombs,
Yeah. Once he gets one, he could get on a roll and hit a bunch.
Hours.
That's kind of what we're thinking here. Yeah. With the yeah. So yeah. I like both of those NBA overs, Jazz and the Heat. I don't know if it's Gene or is it Jean, but either way, Mr. Colas in the chat. Yeah, I like both overs here.
Colas, my guy.
Yeah, there we go. I like them both. Good stuff. All right, it's time to wrap it up. Thanks for everyone for joining us. Hit the like button. Become a member. We have members-only shows every week, Wednesdays and Fridays on the Hitting the Books channel. Again, Wednesday and Friday, it's a members-only show both days. So if you want access to those shows, you have to be a member. So make sure you get on board for that. But, of course, we'll be back tomorrow on Tuesday with just another free-for-all show. So join us for that. But members only Wednesday and Friday.
Friday, Final Four.
Yes, that's right. And Final Four Fridays.
Final Four Friday.
To break down those games. Looking forward to that. All right, let's wrap it up with, as always,
best
bets. C-Mac, what do you got for a best bet for Monday?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an over. We got a lot of over talk. Here, I'll give you an over. And there's still some 8.5s. I got it. Give me A's Braves over 8.5 minus 120. Best number I got. Get 8.5 you can. Over. Give me runs in that game. Over. Rover.
I'll go with an over too. I kind of hinted at it that I really liked it a lot. Tampa Bay, Milwaukee, over 7.5 minus 120.
Okay.
Only 7.5. Martinez, I don't trust. I think against Harrison, the Rays have been decent offensively. It's the bullpen's been an issue. The bullpen could give it up for the Rays as well. Both of these teams, Milwaukee and Tampa Bay, are combined 5-1 to the over this season so far. So 7.5, I think it's low. Tampa Bay, Milwaukee, over 7.5 minus 120 for my best bet in MLB action here on this Monday. Yeah, Shinnikov, I don't mind the look there. Timmy Tushu for the Penguins on the ice. Great stuff. Thanks to everyone. Hit the like button on the way out. We're out of here. Great show. Cash some tickets here. Good luck on this Monday night. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific for the Tuesday edition of the Hitting the Books show. Until then, class dismissed.
Peace.